Welcome back mga kaibigan, I am PGS.
And I'm Jay.
You're watching the Pro Gaming Series 2014 Summer Promotion. Laban na naman tayo ngayon sa pagitan ng team Acclaim 2 versus team ng Crying. So Acclaim 2 mga kaibigan galing sa Iloilo at ang team ng Crying ay from Manila. Both team, I mean Crying pala mga kaibigan ay nanggaling sa Challenger rank teams. Sila yung top 2 if I'm not mistaken nung bago tayo mabot ng ating cutoff. At ang team na Acclaim 2, they were the top 1 sa ating Challenger tournament sa Iloilo.
Yes.
So ito tayo mga kaibigan, let's go to the batting phase sa laban natin sa pagitan ng Team Acclaim 2 versus team ng Crying.
Alright, so on the blue side we have Team Crying, and on the purple side we have Team Acclaim. Alright, Acclaim 2 rather. So bans have already been done. Crying has decided to ban out Annie, Nidalee, and Kha'Zix, while Acclaim 2 decided to ban out Renekton, Kayle, and Morgana. All of these champions are pretty strong picks, champions rather, so pretty good bats coming from both teams. They probably did their homework already on what they don't want to see in the Rift. Right now, they're already in the picking phase. First pick from Team Crying, Nocturne. Really strong jungler right now because of Feral Flare. I expect to see a lot of Nocturne even in ranked games, so we'll have to see if the trend will continue.
Looking at the bans mga kaibigan, they banned Annie, Nidalee, Kha'Zix, and Renekton, Kayle, and Morgana. Morgana, wala tayong tanong dito. Like kanina, siya sa mga champion na sobrang hirap papigilan when it comes to the 2 bot lane dito against any opponent. Morgana can do with the dark, yung kanyang dark binding skill, yung kanyang spell shield during team fight, especially yung kanyang AoE bind sa kanyang SS dito. So looking at the picks mga kaibigan, for team Crying, they pick up Nocturne as their first champion dito. For team ng Acclaim 2, they pick up Severe, and they pick up Lee Sin as well. So they didn't, Team Crying didn't ban out itong si Trundle na somehow nag-dominate sa laban nila against team ng Mito Jihab last week.
Yes. Alright, Acclaim 2 locking in their first 2 picks. They picked up Severe and Lee Sin. Lee Sin actually a very strong jungler. Not so much effective. Feral Flare doesn't really work that well with Lee Sin, but of course it's still viable with him because of the ward, the free ward that comes with it, allowing him to jump around. So we'll have to see how Lee Sin will be built in this game. Of course, Severe hasn't been used in a while, but in the previous season, a lot of the Asian teams, especially TPA and TPS, love to use Severe on their lineup. So we'll have to see if Acclaim 2 will really use Severe effectively. This of course provides a lot of mobility, a lot of chasing and escape for Team Acclaim 2.
Ito na naman mga kaibigan, a bait pick up for the team members of Crying dito. They somehow managed to get Lulu para sa kanilang champion lineup. And this was probably a champion na either will go for the mid lane or support role. Sobrang hirap maisip kasi in any role para kay Lulu dito, sobrang effective niya. In the mid lane, she can do a lot of poke damage against his opponent sa laban nila. Yes. So kung sino man nagamitin ng team Acclaim 2 for the mid lane, yes, they're trying to pre-pick Anivia. Alam mo, sa mga pagkakataon ito, sa mga recent patches natin, nakikita ko na bumabalik si Anivia sa ating competitive scene.
Yes.
Sa solo queue in Diamond, dahil kung nakikita ito sa Anivia. Sa ngayon, I think around 2/5 matches nakita ko si Anivia at sobrang lakas niya. Sobrang dominating niya. Yung burst damage niya being a champion na merong AoE, yung kanyang first skill dito o yung kanyang SS na kaya niyang i-land. Ang problema lang dito yung kanyang mana pool. So she have to get around, I think, item like the Athene's Unholy Grail or item like yung kanyang tier. Pero I don't think tier is an effective item sa kanya kasi mahirapan siyang mag-stack nung kanyang tier dito to get 750.
Yes, I feel like Anivia is really a good pick right now, like you said. She's a very defensive champion. She's got stun, she's got slow, she's even got a freaking wall that can block people from passing through. And
meron siyang passive skill na magiging itog siya para mag-respawn ulit after a few seconds sa pag namatay siya dito. Looking at the lineup mga kaibigan of team Crying dito, they have Draven, they have Lulu, Jax, and Leona. In the bottom lane,
well, another wall coming from Thresh. We've got the box, so Anivia wall and the Thresh box. Sobrang daming harang, especially it'll be very hard for team Crying here to get into the backline. Severe will be very well protected coming from the Thresh and the Anivia. Of course, Soraka provides some additional heal and silence, including mana regeneration, which Severe really needs desperately at the early levels. So we'll have to see if they decide to really lock in, of course, Soraka. Of course, if Soraka goes for yes, they do pick up the Soraka. So effectively, they have 3 heals, 4 including the ultimate of Soraka. There will be a lot of HP regen or HP healing coming from wait a minute. Soraka's top lane.
Yeah, this is a viable champion pick for the top lane. So, actually, I am using Soraka as well in the top lane against Arise before, and I won the
But
laning phase.
Soraka's going against Jax in the top lane.
Jax, ito maganda dito sila in the top lane. Nagawa ko na to eh. Nagamit ko na si Jax in the top lane against kay Soraka. At ang unang item ko dito, kumuha ko ng item like yung Blade of the Ruined King. Kasi against a Soraka, ang kanyang, dinidepende niya lang kanyang skill dito for like yung kanyang advantage in the laning phase ay yung kanyang first skill or yung star call niya dito.
Yes.
Habang tumatagal, mas tumalaki yung damage output ng kanyang star call.
Yes.
Pasabayin mo pa yung kanyang silence. So, ang gagawin ni Jax dito, kailangan niya maging play safe. Hindi siya dapat mag-initiate kay Soraka. So, ang kailangan niyang gawin, hintayin niyang magamit ni Soraka yung kanyang first star call at doon siya tumalon after nun. Use that dip to make sure na kaya niya mag-dominate dito against kay Soraka. Pero ang mangyayari, kapag hindi niya nagawa ng paraan na mag-survive against kay Soraka, sobrang mahirapan sila sa late game.
Probably he could stay out of the range of the Starfall since the range of Starfall isn't that big.
Hindi ganun
It's like
kalaki.
550, I think, around that range. So, it's kind of far, but not far enough. Jack should be able to safely farm from behind that. Of course, he may get hit a few times if he's not careful. And of course, he's got Nocturne as a jungler. Although Lee Sin is I feel like a much more aggressive jungler, especially level 1 and level 2.
Yes.
So he has to play a little bit more careful, especially in those few levels. But once he hit level 6, he should be a dominant force in the game.
So, ang kakailangan gawin din ng team ng Crying, they have to make sure na alam mo, pinakamahirap na role dito ngayon si Nocturne. Yung laning phase ng team Acclaim dito, they have Soraka in the top lane. You have to make sure na makakampo tong champion na to. In the mid lane as well, they have Anivia. Champion like Anivia, you can't, hindi mo dapat pabayaan to na makapag-farm ng hanggang late game. Kailangan mong gawa ng paraan na manalo dito against kay Anivia. In the mid lane, they have Lulu against Anivia. Lulu can be a very dominating champion against Anivia.
Yes,
Pero depende sa kung paano mo gawin yung playstyle mo dito against Anivia. Anivia is a champion. Bukod sa meron siya ditong kanyang passive skill na magiging egg siya and then respawn once again after a few seconds. Kailangan gawa ng paraan dito ni Soraka or itong si Nocturne na lagi sa mid lane. And natapin as well. Pero mahirap dito Soraka, mahirapan ka patay si Soraka.
Yes. Alright, so looking at the lineups, I'm actually kind of excited kasi you don't see this this particular compositions recently. Of course, all of these champions are really strong. Jax is strong, Nocturne is strong, Lulu is strong. The whole lineup of Crying is strong, but do they work well together? That's the question.
Yes.
And then looking at Acclaim, again, another lineup that's really strong. Soraka isn't as strong, but can be really powerful, especially late game.
Ang trabaho ni Soraka
Lee Sin
dito
is just
ay
incredible,
manggulo sa
especially
team
for
fight.
AP.
Yes.
And then, of course, Lee Sin, very annoying champion to go against, especially at the early levels. Very high mobility. Then Anivia, very defensive champ with an egg, which allows him effectively giving her 2 lives in the lane. Then, of course, Thresh and Severe, also very painful thing to deal with in the bottom lane. Depending who's more aggressive in the bottom lane will determine the tempo of the bottom lane. I feel like it might go to Draven, but if the Thresh of Severe is really good, I think it might be the other way around.
It's about, in the bottom lane na Thresh against a Leona, it's all about the timing of his play. Every time nagagamit ito ng Zenith Blade si Leona, kapag na-timingan mo yung play niya, na pagpasok ng kanyang Zenith Blade dito and then use that play just in time, imbis na makakalapit ka sa kanyang champion, lalayo pa niya pabalik. Tutulak ka niya pabalik. So, depende sa timing itong
you only receive
Thresh.
a little damage, pero walang positioning.
You can't use that stun to follow up sa yung champion dito for Leona.
Yes.
So mga kaibigan, looking at the loading screen, once again, paano kung mawalan ka ng RP? Paano kung gusto mong bumili ng skin? Tinatamad ka na lumabas ng bahay at gusto mong bumili ng skin dito. So simple lang mga kaibigan, if you're a smart TNT or Sun Cellular subscriber, just visit epins.gamex.ph.
Yes, of course.
After may visit yung site na yun, go choose the game you're playing. We are playing League of Legends. Ngayon, after mo piliin yung League of Legends, choose the national denomination you want. Gusto mo ng 50, gusto mo ng 100, or gusto mo ng 500, depende sa'yo. Basta meron kang load sa yung cellphone. So ngayon, since napili mo na yung national denomination na gusto mo, click add to cart. Ngayon, napili mo na yung add to cart, enter your mobile number, lalagay mo yung number mo doon, and then, marireceive mo yung marireceive mo yung confirmation code. Ngayon, marireceive mo na yung confirmation code, just send it to 3161, and after mo send sa 3161, you will receive the EPIN amount na gusto mo.
Yes,
So
so
mga kaibigan,
really
kailangan
easy.
meron kang load Yun ang pinaka-importante sa lahat. At isa ang Sun, Smart, and TNT subscriber.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Smart.
Thank you very
Of
much.
course, very nice feature and very easy to use. So if you need load, alam nyo na anong gagawin nyo para makakuha ng load. Of course, you need to have a Smart, like you said, Smart, Sun, or Talk and Text to be able to use this feature.
Yes, mga kaibigan. Looking at the lineup, we have Jax, Nocturne, Lulu, Draven, and Leona for the team of Crying. For team of Acclaim 2, we have Soraka, Lee Sin, Anivia, Severe, and Thresh. So let's go to the Summoner's Rift, mga kaibigan. Game muna tayo ngayon laban sa pagitan ng Team Acclaim 2 versus team ng Crying.
Yes, also, I'd like to shout out, of course, to Raider. Thank you very much for sponsoring us this season. And the game is about to get on the way. Right now, you're looking at Team Crying in the base. There are still, again, we have our mandatory pause just to make sure that everybody can make sure that their settings is set to the way they would like to use it. Of course, they can adjust their mouse speed, color blind, and what other features, of course, League of Legends has. And then we should be on the way. Alright, so looking at the lineup again of Team Crying here.
Yes,
Like
mga
I
kaibigan, sa ating chat, kalmahin nyo lang. Wala po muna tayong trash talkan dito. Both teams made their way sa ating Pro Gaming Series 2014 Summer Promotion.
Yes.
Talagang pinaghirapan nila itong stat na to. So, sana, iwasan natin yung mag-bash sa ating mga teams dito and hindi biro ang makaabot sa kung anong kinakatayuan nila ngayon.
Pero sa totoo lang, I'm really happy with all the teams that came into this tournament because they were all really good. There hasn't not been a single blowout yet. So, that's just to say that compared to previous season, nag-improve talaga yung mga teams.
Yes,
Lahat
sobrang
sila
laki ng in-improve nila.
nag-improve in playstyle, nag-improve ang everything. Everything is much better now. And the game is much, I feel like it's also a little bit more balanced. Yung mga nerfs na ginawa ni Riot tsaka yung buffs, medyo maganda yung ginawa nila. So, now mas enjoyable ang League of Legends. Of course, mas maganda na rin yung ibang champions with the VU updates coming from Severe. And of course, we have Twitch. Ang daming champions na rin nagkaroon na rework. Surprisingly though, we haven't really seen any Garen. Garen also got a VU from last year. So, there we see here Thresh, an early invade from Acclaim. Thresh trying to catch somebody in the tri-bush. Nobody there right now. Most of the members of Crying are actually also grouped together, but they're just protecting their red buff. So they really don't want Lee Sin to steal the red buff away from them.
This is, mga kaibigan, an attempt invade for team members of Acclaim 2 dito, and somehow Skyra managed to solve the team members of Acclaim dito with the use of the Theater Land. You have to distinguish, mga kaibigan. Ito na teammate na hinanap natin dito. The stun dive from Carousel. Acclaim Boutique taking a lot of damage and he goes down exhausted, mga kaibigan. Acclaim Dragon against 3 champion of team members of Crying dito, and one more hit, mga kaibigan. He was about to go down and he goes down. Easy 2 for 1 exchange, mga kaibigan. Still buhay pa ang tatlong members of team Crying dito. Acclaim Choco against team members of Nicknack and Schulitzel dito sa labo na to.
Level 1.
Sobrang dami, mga kaibigan. Grabe palitan dito. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin tayo. One of Diamonds. Sobrang free hit. After that first kill, once again, flash in for team members of Acclaim 2. It's not a good idea to use that flash in to that
Incredible
champion.
level 1.
3-4
4 kills
score
for Acclaim 2 and 3 kills for Team Crying at level 1. Only 2 minutes into the game, we've seen so many kills and deaths already.
Napakahirap ng ganung klaseng early team fight dito, and alam mo, kapag ganun yung mga nangyayari, yung mga nakakakuha lang ng kill, yung merong malaking advantage. So at this point of time,
Anivia,
3-0-1 score for Anivia. So napakalaking advantage na for his champion. And take note, hindi siya umuwi kagad.
But if you think about it, Draven picking up 2 kills that early in the game is also incredible.
Nako, mahirap to for the team.
And if you think about it also, Lulu actually picked up first blood. So almost effectively, parang naka 2 kills din siya. So it's actually pretty much even all in all. Both teams, as you can see, the goal is only 300 advantage to Team Acclaim over there. So it's not really a big lead. Looking at the CS, of course, the Soraka is actually winning the CS there against the Jax. Jax will definitely have to struggle in the early levels in terms of CS, but as the game progresses, I expect Jax to be a huge farm monster and could dominate pretty much any champion he wishes as long as he goes one-on-one. In the team fights, of course, he'll also be very strong since he has a lot of sustain if he goes for the Blade Rune King, which I expect also to see from Jax.
Visit na kaibigan, na gank from Nocturne in the top lane. Ginamit ng kanyang counter-strike. I mean, eto na sinasabi natin. Acclaim Dragon, doing a lot of damage against 2 champion of the members of Crying! One more hit mga kaibigan, but they have to use the flash out. And the respawn coming from Lee Sin dito, trying to get the life of 2 champion from team members of Crying dito mga kaibigan. Have to use the flash out. Flash in from Budik dito. He's taking a lot of damage as well. And he goes down. Napakagandang turnaround from team members of Crying dito. Kairosel managed to pick up 2 kills. What a turnaround for their team.
That was really close. I couldn't believe that it happened. I really thought Nocturne already had Nocturne in the bag, but Nocturne somehow survived there with less than 50 HP, and Jax picking up the double kill. That is a really good turnaround for Team Crying there.
But mga kaibigan, one of Diamonds taking a lot of damage against kay Skyra dito. One more hit, and naging egg na siya dito against Skyra. But I don't think he can manage to take a lot of damage from Skyra dito. Just in time, umabot siya at nag-respawn siya sa laban nila against team ng Crying.
He has to play a little bit more careful now, because if he dies, he'll be giving a lot of gold to Lulu, especially Lulu already picking up first blood, and he'll probably even have a shutdown.
Good death sentence mga kaibigan from Lan in the bottom lane. Knick-knack taking a lot of damage against 2 champion of the team members of Acclaim dito mga kaibigan, and Schnitzel chasing down Choco with the ignite. He managed to pick up a kill dito. But Knick-knack chasing Lan against 2 champion of Team Crying. One more hit mga kaibigan from Draven dito, and he will go down. No! Umabot pa! Schnitzel was forced to use that flash in, and he goes down as well.
Yeah, actually,
Not enough damage for Draven.
Yes, and actually, I still think that was a good pickup for Leona.
Budik used that Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike back his champion, but still, Nixta chasing down one of Diamonds, taking wala siyang passive skill dito, and he goes down. Budik against 2 members, grabbing first damage from Skyra dito, and double kill for his champion.
Wow.
His team of Acclaim.
Team Crying really having a
Sobra
huge
aggressive
lead now. Yes, it's now actually 3k gold lead, or actually 2.5k gold lead in just 5 minutes. This is huge for just 5 minutes into the game. And as the game progresses, Team Acclaim has to play a little bit more careful, or at least pick up those kills if they want to stay into this game.
At ito sasabi natin mga kaibigan, Carousel have to make sure na magamit na kagad ni Dragon yung kanyang unang star call before initiating the team fight. And this is it, another kill for his champion. Killing spree na siya dito with the help of that red and blue buff. He somehow have the advantage in the top lane sa laban na to.
Yes, alright, so Severe. Looking at the CS right now, Jax is now even with Soraka in terms of CS. That double kill now and another pickup for Jax, giving him 3 kills now, really helps him a lot. And this allows him to now sustain much better in lane, being able to deal with Soraka here. I feel like he probably might even build a Hex Drinker, since there's so much AP damage coming from Team Acclaim later on.
Sobrang napagandaan dito ng team ng Crying ang laban na to against team ng Acclaim. And nahihirapan ng team ng Acclaim na makuha ng advantage nila during the laning phase. Even though mapapansin mo na hindi ganun kamalalayo yung kanilang mga CS, lahat ng advantage na meron ng team ng Crying sa laban na to ay nakadepende sa kanilang score, kill, and assist.
Yes. Actually, looking here at the bottom lane, ang ganda ng skin pala ni Thresh at ni Severe, no? Yung Frost at yung championships, they look really awesome together.
Yes, they're like both a champion, color blue,
sila eh.
so, duo blue dito sa bottom lane for Severe and Thresh. And at this point of time mga kaibigan, looking at the item of one of Diamonds dito, hindi natin ganoon na nakikita yung kanyang advantage with the first 3 kill for his champion.
Yes, Thresh.
Ang bilis na kabawi ni Lulu dito. And this is it mga kaibigan, Schnitzel have to use that stun for that ward mga kaibigan. Pero Acclaim Dragon ito after taking so much damage mga kaibigan with the first kill. One more leap from Carousel, and didn't bother, have to use Bilge Water na lamang para makuha ng isang champion dito once again in the top lane.
Yes, Crying now really bullying Soraka. Soraka now 0-4-3. I really feel sorry for the Soraka right now, because although it's really hard to kill Soraka, Team Crying is doing a really good job of bursting down Soraka here and picking up 4 kills onto her already this early in the game. Is really bad news for Team Acclaim.
I wonder what is happening ngayon sa team ng Acclaim. Hindi sila ganun nagiging effective sa laban nila ngayon, especially sa top lane na si Dragon. Last time against team ng Mido Jihab, he was the one carrying the game, picking up Trundle for his champion dito. But the Soraka pick against kay Jax, I don't think it's a good idea for the team.
Yes.
This is a very bad pick for
this
his
is actually a
champion.
really good lead for Team Crying now. 3.5k gold advantage over, and with the Jax, that's really scary. Especially with the Jax ahead, it's really hard to deal with. And Soraka, although she scales really well in the late game, the amount of heal and damage she can do in the late game is really powerful. If the game doesn't even get that far, then Soraka wouldn't have been a very good pick for them.
Yes. Ngayon mga kaibigan, in the mid lane, sobrang naging dominant game ni Lulu. And with that item alone, can you imagine the burst damage na kanya ibigay against kay kay one of Diamonds in the mid lane? And actually, enough na yung kanyang chalice para magbigay ng at least yung kanyang mana regeneration to poke down his opponent sa laban na to. Ito yung ginagawa niya.
Yes, alright, so we're now here in the... Alright, back in the top lane, Jack has to be a little bit careful here.
Not only, he's taking a lot of damage mga kaibigan. A respond from Butik in the top lane. Just in time with the use of that save. But flash in from Carousel. It never backed down mga kaibigan in the top lane, but it was shut down by Lee Sin dito.
Yeah, so pick up from Jack's very risky play. Picks up 1 kill for 1 death. Of course, Lee Sin picking up the kill this time. Here in the bottom lane here, looks like Draven and Leo really want to get aggressive here. Not able to land their combo properly. Won't be able to pick up any kills. Draven will be going back to base, picking up a few more items. I'm not sure if he'll be able to pick up an early Bloodthirster or if he decides to go for a different item.
Nakikita kumuha dito ng armor. Itong si Soraka in the top lane, knowing na medyo talaga nahirapan siya sa kanyang kalaban. Mga kaibigan, Skyra taking a lot of damage, have to use that wild growth for his champion, but he somehow managed to pick up another kill. Pero dahil sa meron siyang passive, hindi siya naging 1-1 exchange.
That was a good play from Anivia.
Skyra.
I feel
Skyra
like...
as well.
Yes.
But I think one of Diamond is aware na wala siyang, meron siyang passive skill dito,
yes.
so he can go,
so he
can take
perfectly.
Lulu head-on sila nila in the mid. Mga kaibigan, ignited si Acclaim Dragon dito, taking a lot of damage. One more hit, one more leap mga kaibigan from Carousel, and he will kill once again Dragon, and he goes down. But Budik have to respond, at hindi niya ginamit yung kanyang Sonic Wave dito to steal that kill from Soraka.
Yes, actually that's Soraka's first kill of the game. Looks like Team Crying will be picking up the first Dragon as well. Definitely a huge gold advantage that they were starting to lose, but they gained it back from that Dragon there. Holding on to that nice gold lead of about 3k gold. Acclaim really has their work cut out for them right now, and they really need to do something to get back into this game. So far, like you said, si Lee Sin being a team player there, hindi niya kinayes yung kill ni Soraka there, allowing Tower to pick it up. A nice dive in from Nocturne here onto Thresh. I think Thresh will be going down here to see if he'll be able to flash away. No, he won't.
Ginamit na kanyang death sentence mga kaibigan to disengage. Unfortunately, wala nang minion doon. I think merong minion but hindi umabot yung kanyang range ng death sentence mga kaibigan. Here is mga kaibigan with the use of the solar flare. Budik taking a lot of damage, have twisted safeguard para mapag-disengage. Choco against 3 champion of the members of Crying, but they're chasing one of Diamonds instead. 49 ang ating score dito. And nakuha doon na isang champion ng team na Acclaim 2.
Alright, so nice turnaround for that team fight there. Actually, I was surprised. I thought Thresh was about to get away from there, forcing the flash coming from the flash burn there. Jack being very aggressive here. I don't know if he'll be able to get away here. Wow, almost a turnaround, but Jack is just way ahead of Soraka right now. And
hitting
7-3-2 over 174.
174 versus 7-3-2 in the top lane. I don't think he can he's not surviving the laning phase ngayon.
And the worst thing about it is he ended up buying 3 Doran's Ring, delaying his build further. Look at Jack, he already completed his first big item, Blade of the Ruin King. And that's just gonna give the power of Jack just basically skyrocketed because of the Blade of the Ruin King.
Kaya niyang manalo dito against kay Budik. If ever na mag-initiate si Budik will go down. Pero ito na mga kaibigan, Nixta have to initiate dito kay one of Diamonds and was forced to disengage sa laban.
Alright, so Jack's healing up really fast there. As you can see there, the Blade of the Ruin King allowing him to heal on those minions in the lane. Looks like he'll be attempting to assist some of the other lanes. Lee Sin, of course, trying to go to the mid lane to defend against the 2 members of Crying here. Both Nocturne and Lulu trying to lay some damage on the first tier turret in the mid lane. Nocturne looks like will be deciding to try to pick up somebody. He saw actually Thresh clearing out that ward. Looks like he won't be going to do any engages just yet. Probably gonna clear a few minutes, then decide what to do next. Now, like we mentioned a while ago, first Dragon went to Team Crying here. Anivia will pick up the blue for himself. Lee Sin, of course, Anivia, probably out of all the champions I know, aside from Carthul, Anivia is the second most champion who needs that blue buff desperately. Without that blue buff, it practically cripples Anivia in the lane. Alright, so Leona spotting out a ward here in the bush, making sure that the jungle could camp that bush if ever needed here. Anivia putting down the wall, making sure that Lulu is not stopping from clearing that pink ward here. Spotting, of course, he put down the ward there, making sure that this basically to provide some protection from any jungle gank. Right, now we're here in the bottom lane. Severe all alone here. A nice
Stop to use that paranoia to get the life of one of Diamonds. He was ignited at ito na. Nag-proc ang kanyang passive skill dito and Budik have to respond. Mukhang naabot ang kanyang pag-respond. And yes, a respond as well from Carousel. One champion goes down. Napakaganda pag-turn around from the members of Acclaim. And in the bottom of stage, Knick-Knack goes down against two members of Acclaim dito. And he somehow managed to pick up a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of team ng Acclaim 2. Chasing down one champion in the mid lane. Carousel have to use the flash in and stun as well. It's a 3-for-1 exchange in favor of team ng Acclaim.
Yes, actually really good turnaround.
Wow, mga kaibigan, death sentence from Acclaim Lanlan dito, but he have to use that flash in para mapag-disengage in the bottom lane. Kita mo yung napakagandang paggamit ng kanyang death sentence doon. Fortunately, it wasn't enough for his champion. Still Acclaim to getting the first turret in the mid lane.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that Lee Sin's response to One of Diamonds there was really excellent. If it weren't for Lee Sin, definitely One of Diamonds would have went down. But because of that, One of Diamonds was able to pick up several kills. If you look at his score right now, he's now 7-1-1 there, only dying once in the somewhere in the mid game or early mid game, and now he's going really dominating, picking up another 2 kills just recently, allowing him to snowball even further ahead. Rod of Ages already complete, building up stacks as we speak, and of course we have the tier, of course, building stacks as well.
Medyo delayed na ng sobra itong si Budik sa kanyang item. I don't think na maganda pang kumuha siya ng kanyang Rigorous Lantern for his champion. Kung mapapansin mo, napilitan siya kumuha ng kanyang Phage. And I think itong longsword na to ay one more recipe for his item, like getting yung kanyang Rigorous Lantern dito. Pero mga kaibigan, Choco taking a lot of damage against two champion. Draven with that burst damage from his champion. Ginamit ang death sentence from Lanlan pero medyo nakaharap siya sa kabila. And unfortunately, wala siyang tinamaan with that death sentence. One of Diamonds taking a lot of damage. Ginamit ang kanyang wall to save himself dito sa laban nila. Skyra still using that skill to poke down One of Diamonds. One of Diamonds without his skill dito. Wala siyang passive mga kaibigan. Pero dahil
nice
support ng kanyang teammate, Budik have to initiate this team fight. One of Diamonds never back down mga kaibigan. And he managed to pick up a kill dito. Skyra one more hit. And yes, he goes down. One of Diamonds pick up a kill dito sa mid lane sa team fight na nangyari kanina. It's a 1-for-2 exchange in favor of team ng Crying. Carousel once again killed Drago in the top lane dito. In the mid lane, here's an exchange once again mga kaibigan. One more hit for Lanlan dito. Ginamit ang kanyang heal. Schnitzel, death sentence from Lanlan. It's a 3-4-3 exchange in total sa laban.
Wow, GG Spear, I can't believe this game is really full of action.
Sobrang daming palitan
It's
dito.
only 16 minutes in the game and we've already 35 kills, and Jax going back in on full HP Severe, deciding to back away here. I don't know if Jax
Wala
is
siyang on
able to
the
get
hand
away here.
dito, so I don't think he can chase down Carousel dito. Dahil meron siyang movement speed. If ever nagawa mo siya ng skill dito with the red and blue buff for Acclaim Choco, I think he can somehow manage to pick up another kill. And yes, in that team fight, it's a total of 3-4-4 exchange.
Yes, alright, so Severe picking up another kill. Of course, I feel like Jax would have just continued running away. He probably would have stand a better chance there, but trying to turn it around, he had no mana, so Jax will be building a Trinity Force next. So far, he's already picked up the Sheen and the Phage. Z is the only item left, and of course the recipe, which is only $6, so no problem for Jax. He'll be able to farm that really quick. Dragon is now up here. Mid lane being defended by Lulu against Anivia.
He was ignited, taking a lot of damage. Paranoias din tapped out, pero hindi yata aabot ang kanyang reach to any champion of Team Acclaim dito. And he goes down once again in the mid lane. Very good job for team ng Crying dito.
Good teamwork coming from Team Crying. They're picking up another kill. Realizing Anivia is the key to their success in this game if they want to win. Lulu spotting out, providing some isolation for their team to pick up the dragon. Looks like Thresh will now continue to pursue that dragon. Both of these teammates are too far away. to respond.
Yes, 3-1-16 ang ating score in favor ng team ng Crying Budik, taking a lot of damage mga kaibigan. But still, Dragon andito para mag-responde and use that kill. Isama managed to save his comrade dito. He was ignited. And that sentence, very good job for Lanlan dito. Killing the life of one champion. Unfortunately, hindi umabot yung kanyang the box to secure another kill sa laban nila.
Yes, napakagandang hook coming from Thresh there, landing it through all those minions there, and looks like another tower picked up by Team Crying. This is actually their third tower of the game, 2-tower advantage for Team Crying right now. And Nivea will be picking up the blue buff again. Has to be careful, and Leon is nearby, but she looks like, I don't think she'll be trying to stop them.
Is it mga kaibigan, Dragon taking giving so much poke damage kay Schnitzel. But I think it's a turnaround for the team. Crying. Schnitzel have to initiate with the use of that Zenith Blade. Counter strike from Kerosene. One champion goes down. Very good job for Acclaim Butik dito. And one of Diamonds against Kerosene. Choco taking a lot of damage. He was ignited. One more jab. Pero ito na mga kaibigan. It's a 2-4 na exchange. Butik, very good job with the use of that Dragon's Rage. Skyra, Wild Growth. Butik still against kay Nixta. Tumama dito yung kanyang fear. And he goes down instead of getting Nixta's life.
These junglers are so excited to watch.
Sobrang
Look at their
daming
HP.
Napakagandang performance from Lanlan dito using that death sentence just in time. Halos lahat ng death sentence niya ay pang game changing.
Yeah, I'm really, so far, all season out, this is probably the most exciting game I'm watched. Look at it, less than 20 minutes in, and more than 40 kills already, and the action just doesn't stop here.
Actually, ang bilis ng pangyayari. Acclaim somehow managed to redeem themselves sa mga nangyayari dito. Sa napakaraming team fight, and I would give credit dito kay one of Diamonds. Sobrang ganda ng performance niya using Anivia as his champion.
If I'm not mistaken, one of Diamonds is right now ranked number 2 in Challenger.
Yes, he's pang-rank to siya dito sa ating Challenger, solo queue. So, there's no doubt
really
about his skills. So, wala nang pagdududa dito sa kanyang ginagawa. Still, sa mga pagkakataon ito, 20-19 ang ating score at ang ating goal difference ay 1.8k in favor of team ng Crying pa rin.
Yes, alright, so it looks like we can see here, they're gonna continue pushing. I wonder what the next objective is. Baron is up already, of course. It's already been 5 minutes up, and we'll see if any of the teams, but the game has gotten really close. Although Crying had a huge advantage at level 1, you can't really see a clear advantage anymore for Team Crying. Of course, they're still in the lead by about 3k, but the 5k gold that lead they had in the game earlier is already gone, and they didn't make it count as much as they should have, although they really dominated the Soraka. You saw Soraka get crushed by Jax 9-6-2. Soraka though is 1-8-12.
Yes,
but
and actually,
in the mid lane,
not a bad choice for Soraka's item. Hindi naman sama nakakuha siya ng Frozen Heart niya at this point of time. And Crucible as well. So napakalaki pa rin ng kanyang advantage sa laban na to with the 12 assists for his champion. Ito lang ang kanyang trabaho. He have to make sure na meron siya
like a
damage.
double support build.
Yes.
Actually, triple including Lee Sin. Lee Sin's actually not really killing anybody. He's just saving Anivia's ass so Anivia can basically kill everybody really well. As you can see here, 10-3-2. That's already more than half the team's kill of Team Acclaim 2, which means he's participated in more than half the kills, and he's picked up more than half the kills for the whole team.
At this point of time, mga 22-19 pa ng ating score, and we're looking at the item of Jax ngayon. We have the Blade of the Ruined King and Trinity Force. Ano sa tingin mo yung dapat next item dito to at least gain the advantage sa laban nila against team ng Acclaim? Actually, kanina, kita-kita rin yung pagiging dominant niya in the early part of the game. Pero ngayon, unti-unti siyang nahihirapan na mag-initiate sa laban.
Yes.
Tumataba na itong si Soraka, getting the Frozen Heart. Nagbibigay sa kanya ng disadvantage. Bumabagal yung kanyang attack speed sa mga nangyari T5 kanina.
Yes. Plus, of course, Soraka already has very high magic resist. So, the magic damage coming from Jax would not be that significant.
This is mga kaibigan, ginamit ang Talisman Ascension from the members of Acclaim, wall from one of Diamonds, but unfortunately, walang champion dito. Ang naharangan, death sentence attempt from Lanlan. A good choice for their team, pero eto na mga kaibigan, still, Jax pushing the top lane. And if ever na, ito trabaho ng Jax having the Blade of the Ruined King and Trinity Force for his champion, ito yung advantage niya. So, ito yung ginagawa niya ngayon with the movement speed. He will just push any lanes, split push any lanes dito while hinahayaan niya mag-clash dito ang team of Acclaim.
As you can see right now in the minimap, Jax is split pushing the top. So Raka is still there, making sure Jax will not take down that second tier third. While all 4 members from both teams are here in the mid lane, not allowing any team to push here. So it's basically just a standoff. So I'm really excited to see who will decide to initiate. Crying, I feel like they want to initiate but they're scared to lose.
Actually, mahirap eh. Mahirap mag-initiate dito for team ng Crying. Alam nila lahat na lahat ng champion of Team Acclaim, they have to protect from Soraka, they have to protect from Thresh. And they have a champions like Anivia na kayang ubusin lahat ng champion na pumapasok dito. If ever na mag-initiate si Nocturne to any champion of their team, gagamitin niya yung kanyang SS or yung kanyang ultimate skill and burst that champion down. So ito mangyayari, they have the heal as well for their team. And the Lantern, kapag ginamit niyo yung kanyang Dark Passage, they can save any champion from their team. At ito ang kapahirap for team ng Crying.
Alright, let's take a look at the CS right now. Soraka and Jax are pretty much even in CS, including the junglers. The biggest CS advantage here is the mid lane. Lulu only 167 while Anivia hitting 225 already, so that's a huge CS advantage for one of Diamond's here. In the bottom lane, Draven has a slight advantage over Severe by about 20 CS, so really interesting. The AP of Acclaim is in the lead while Crying's team AD carry is in the lead in terms of CS.
So ngayon mga kaibigan, looking at the item, mukhang let's see yung ating stack for Nocturne, hindi pa siya nakakabuo ng kanyang Feral Flare dito.
Yes.
And for Acclaim, buti 27 na ang kanyang stack. So, mabilis siya makahabol.
Yes, 3 more and that should be
same with Nocturne. Konti na lamang at meron silang Feral Flare. So, ibigay sa kanila ng advantage yung mga team.
Like
nangyayari maya-maya lang.
Crying decided to go for the Baron. Of course, Anivia will spot them out.
A Dragon for a Baron mga kaibigan. They got stunned with the first kill coming from Anivia dito. And this is it. I think they're about to get the first Baron of this game.
Yes.
And yes, they managed to pick up the first Baron. I don't think it's a good trade for team of Acclaim.
Yes, Acclaim got
Dragon for
there.
Baron.
Those wards provided them vision. They said, hey, look at that. They're in the Dragon. Free Baron sa atin to, so let's go take it. And good job coming from them. They knew of Anivia. One of Diamond knew that if he went there, he would have died. And that could have really snowballed the game much faster in the favor of Team Crying. So,
alam mo, isa pong hindi na rin kasi pwede mag-decide dito ang team ng Acclaim eh. So nakita, yes, they are aware na nandun na sa Baron ang team of Crying. So they can't do anything na sobrang layo ng kailangan nilang takbuhin. So trade na lang for Dragon. Still not a bad idea for them. Unfortunately, merong Baron buff dito ang team ng Crying. So for the next few minutes, like 5 minutes dito, 4 minutes, they have the advantage na team fight. So ang gagawin ngayon ng team Acclaim, they have to wait na ma-burn yung BR buff dito or yung Baron buff.
Yes. So the next 4 minutes, the Baron buff will be on Team Crying. And of course, Baron will respawn 70 minutes later from now. While the Dragon will be spawning 6 minutes from now. The next Dragon and Baron will be a power play depending on which team decides to take it. They can easily pick up the Dragon and follow it up with the Baron. As long as they have the timer on those skills, of course. So let's see who will be making those plays. I feel like right now the game will be pretty passive, although even though I say that, I can't say that for sure because we've seen how aggressive both these teams are.
Alam mo kanina Jay, sobrang nung early game, ang daming teamfight na nangyayari. Pero nung dumating na tayo sa mid game, halos nalilesen na ng sobra yung ating teamfight. Hindi na ganun karami nangyayaring palitan dito. But in the top lane, one of Diamonds and the Acclaim Dragon waiting their chance for Carousel. Carousel taking a lot of damage. Na-ignite siya ngayon dito with the stun coming from his champion mga kaibigan. They have this counter-strike para mapag-disengage dito. Paranoia from Nocturne chasing down one champion. One of Diamonds taking a lot of damage against Nixta dito. Nixta still chasing down one champion. Pero in the bottom lane, they're trying to get a second tier turret and they managed to pick up another turret in the bottom lane dito. Choco taking a lot of damage as well. Death sentence from Thresh dito. Landland versus Skyra. Skyra got a lot of Landland dito. Knick-knack against Budik. Budik still chasing down champions of Crying dito. And yes, with a flash in time from Knick-knack, he pick up another kill. A respond from one of Diamond dito. He shot down Draven. It's a 2-for-1 exchange. A turret for team ng Crying. In the top lane, Nixta chasing down Dragon. I don't think na kaya niya patayin itong si Dragon with his frozen heart and heal as well.
Yes. Did you see the burst damage coming from Anivia? Almost instantly bursting down Draven there when he went in for the flash kill on to Lee Sin. Of course, that was a 1-for-1 exchange. I feel like that was more in favor for Anivia here, going 11-3-2 here. Ang sakit na niya, no? With the Archangel stack and of course the Rod of Ages. I think the Rod of Ages probably is close to completing his stacks. And of course, the Zonia's Hourglass will provide Anivia a little bit more protection. If I'm not mistaken, pag inactivate ni Anivia yung Hourglass, tuloy-tuloy pa yung ultimate niya. So, this is really a good item pickup for Anivia. Alright, so back into the game right now. We can see here Severe picking up another minion for himself. Has already completed the Infinity Edge and the Bloodthirster, two very high AD items here, allowing Severe to do a lot of burst damage with her Boomerang Blade. And on the other side, we see here that Draven has completed a slightly different build path and seems to be in the lead in terms of items. But there we go, actually, Severe picking up a Zeal, while Draven already has a Static Shield, a Bloodthirster, and of course, a Last Whisper with a BF already on in his inventory. So I think the reason why Draven is in the lead in terms of in gold is because of every time he kills, he has adoration stacks, and this allows him to pick up more gold. Alright, so it looks like 4 members of Team Crying are gonna try to push in the bottom lane, while Acclaim aren't really aware of what Team Crying is doing right now. There we see here some pings. It looks like it's gonna be another team fight. Both teams will spot each other out.
Acclaim try to get their blue buff mga bigay, pero Knick-Knack, they are giving so much damage against Acclaim Choco. Acclaim Choco goes down, and here's the Solar Flare. Next to have to shot Paranoia. Schnitzel initiated to Lanlan dito. Lanlan taking a lot of damage coming from poke damage from Knick-Knack dito. But here comes one of Diamonds. Have to use that ultimate skill. And a wild growth from Lulu dito. An initiation from Carousel as well. One of Diamonds taking a lot of damage. Have to use that Zonia's Hourglass. And the passive, and his passive got activated dahil sa namatay siya dito. Carousel still surviving that team fight mga kaibigan. Nixta, sobrang kulit mga kaibigan. Handling the damage from that turret. Acclaim Dragon, naging 2 champion dito. Inihap is a flash out to pick up another kill. Double kill for his champion. So it's a 4-4-2 exchange in favor of team ng Crying.
And both Soraka...
He survived. Very good job for Soraka dito.
It's unbelievable. Looks like Draven might be able to pick up this third. I don't know if Soraka will be able to do anything to stop. Yes, looks like Draven decides to back away since the members of Team Acclaim will be joining Soraka here in the mid lane. Now, I believe the Dragon will be up in a few seconds. Yes, in 30 seconds or 25 seconds, Dragon will be up. Then followed by another minute, the Baron will be up. So this will be another big team fight for sure coming from either team. I don't know who will make the power play of picking up both Baron and both Dragon and Baron, or will they get one apiece. Alright, we see here Thresh right now being very, very careful. Even though with that ward in the bush, he's afraid that there might be a blind spot there. And most of the team, alright, there's pings coming out from a team Crying. Looks like they will go for the Dragon. Now Team Acclaim 2 also pinging there. Leona gets spotted by the Thresh there and puts down a ward. Leona puts down another ward. Dragon started already by Severe, going down really quick with 4 members. Surprisingly, Team Crying let them pick it up for free. So most likely, I don't know if they still have the timer in the Baron, but Baron will be up in another 30 seconds. Nocturne decides to go back to base. I don't think that was really smart decision, since I think Acclaim will be heading out to the Baron and will try to protect it right now.
Konting, I mean, malapit na mag-up dito yung kanyang Paranoia. So, if ever na mag-attempt ang team na Acclaim to get that second Baron of this game, he can use that Paranoia para mag-respond dito. But, if ever na magpilit sila to get that Baron, I don't think Team Acclaim will somehow manage to survive the team fight dito.
Yes. Alright, actually the blue buff for Team Crying is actually up right now. Yes, looks like Crying will go ahead and
they have to focus fire itong si Draven. Sobrang sakit na ni Draven. Unfortunately, with the Last Whisper, the Static Shield, and the Bloodthirster for his champion, I think, kita-kita mo naman, even Acclaim Choco can survive the damage output from his champion. And kailangan protectahan itong team na Acclaim, si Choco.
Yes, actually Draven's building into, I believe, with a Banshee's Veil because he knows he needs that protection. I won't be surprised if the whole team of Crying will pick up that Banshee's Veil because they don't want to get hooked or stunned by Anivia, because that will definitely equal instant death for them. Alright, so basically it's a standoff right now. Nobody wanting to risk that Baron there. Everybody knows the Baron is there. They're all waiting in the side there, pings coming from both teams. More wards being killed by cleared by Team Crying here. Draven laying down a ward, very dangerous position for him. Luckily, he didn't get caught by the hook by
Is the paranoia mga kaibigan from Nixta dito have to initiate for Choco. Choco taking a lot of damage. Acclaim Dragon mga kaibigan naiwan dito. Solar Flare. Tinamaan sa gitna si Acclaim Dragon. He's taking a lot of damage mga kaibigan. He have to use that SS as well. Death sentence from Lanlan dito. A counter strike from Carousel chasing down one of Diamonds. The box split top mga kaibigan from Lanlan. Choco goes down. Knick-Knack still chasing down the champion of the members of Acclaim. Budik against 3 champion of Team Crying dito. Have to use that flash out. He was ignited. One more hit from Nixta. And yes, it's a 4-1 exchange in favor of team ng Acclaim. I mean, ng Crying dito. Unfortunately, medyo nahirapan sila na mag-survive doon. Tumama lahat ng skill dito kay Dragon. Tinamaan siya ng Solar Flare at doon nakapag-follow up ang team members of Crying.
Looks like it was a good call coming from Team Crying after all, being able to take out Soraka from the composition of Team Acclaim, crippling their composition. Looks like, actually, I think they might be able to end this game.
Yes, they're not wasting any time. They're ending this game mga kaibigan. Mukhang ito ng chance for their team to advance sa ating bracket, sa ating full gaming series summer promotion. And they somehow managed to pick up Lanlan. And yes, it's a win for the team members of the Team Crying.
Wow, good job from Team Crying. Really good team play in that end. Of course, Nocturne took a risk there, diving into Severe or Soraka there. Luckily, it paid off for them. They were able to pick up a kill and able to push all the way to the game and pick up the victory.
Very good job for team ng Crying and Acclaim as well. Sobrang ganda na pinakita nilang laban.
Yeah, actually, I have to say, this was like the most exciting game. Look at that. It's only
hindi mo masasabi na one-sided yung game. Well, in the early part of the game, makikita mo na nahihirapan sila in the laning phase. Pero nung pagdating ng mid-game, makikita mo na bumabawi sila against the team members of Crying. But Crying somehow managed to end this game.
Just like you said, at the early game, lamang si Crying with the gold and the kills. Then Crying slowly lessened that gap, but from some smart plays coming from Team Crying, they able to pull ahead again and win the game.
Actually, in the early part of the game, makikita mo naman na they got the first blood. Acclaim got the first blood. Anivia ahead, 3 kill against Lulu in the mid lane. Nung nagtagal, responde lamang from Nocturne dito, nakabawi kagad dito si Lulu in the mid lane. And that gave them the advantage na magtuloy-tuloy at mag-snowball sa item nila against kay Anivia. Anivia, yes, nakuha siya ng first 3 kill niya against his opponent. Pero, lagi mong itak sa isipan natin na hindi ganon kalaki yung advantage mo kapag nakuha ka ng first blood nang wala pang minion.
Yes. I'd like to give the MVP to Anivia, but to be all honest, it was really the Nocturne helping Jax feed on Soraka over and over the start of the game.
Yes.
And the transition, that paranoia, like in the mid game, allowing them at the end of the game, allowing them to pick up the victory. So congratulations to Team Crying. Looks like they won't be crying today since they won. So good job to them. They'll be facing off with Mineski in the next round tomorrow.
So let's see ang ating bracket for tomorrow's matches mga kaibigan sa ating schedule bukas. Same time slot at ito na ang ating schedule for tomorrow.
Alright, so like we said a while ago, Pacific won their game against Team Dethrone a while ago. Tomorrow they'll be facing off against MSI Evo GT versus Team Pacific, while we have Team Crying winning the game against Acclaim. They'll be facing off with Team Mineski tomorrow.
Yes. So again, good luck sa team members of MSI Evo GT and Pacific. Mineski versus team ng Crying tomorrow. Maraming salamat kay I Hate Support sa pagpuna ng ating stream ngayong araw at sa aming pang-shoutcast. Maraming salamat I Hate Support. Pero bago ang lahat, Jay, if ever na mawalan tayo ng RP or gusto mong bumili ng skin na gusto mong bilhin pero tinatamad na lumabas na tayo, anong gagawin mo? Simply visit events.gmx.ph. Now that you visit that site, choose the game you are playing. We are playing League of Legends. After mo piliin yung League of Legends, choose the initial denomination you want.
Yes.
About 50, 100, 500, depende sa'yo. And then click add to cart. After mo click yung add to cart, enter the mobile number you're using. Para lamang to sa Smart, TNT, and Sun Cellular subscriber. Ngayon talagay mo na yung mobile number mo. You will receive the confirmation code.
That's right.
Send mo ito sa 3161 and you will receive the ipin amount you want. So ganun lang kadali mga kaibigan. Thank you very much for GameX sa napakagandang feature para sa ating mga gamer.
Alright, so thank you again to Smart and Razer for being our sponsor, and of course for Smart for giving us this GameX feature, allowing us to buy load comfortably from our own homes. Alright, so that's pretty much it for today. Of course, don't forget tomorrow we have a best of 3 matches for 2 games. So it's gonna be a really long day tomorrow. So hopefully you guys will come in and choose. I'm really excited to see who will advance to the PGS. We've got Mineski, we've got MSI Evo GT who dropped down. Let's see if they'll be able to climb back into the PGS, or we're Crying or Pacific or the throne will be able to get into the PGS.
So mga kaibigan, maraming salamat sa panonood sa ating Pro Gaming Series 2014 Summer Promotion. Unfortunately, nagkaroon tayo ng mga issue kanina. And mga kaibigan, sa lahat ng mga may suggestion, comment about sa aming shoutcasting sa ating live stream, just PM us sa ating mga Facebook. We have Shoutcaster J and Garina Sphere. At you can post in the forums as well.
Yes,
Sa lahat ng mga may suggestion, alam namin lahat na marami pa kaming pagkukulang, marami pa kaming dapat ututunan. Willing kaming tanggapin lahat ng inyong mga comments sa amin, negative man o positive. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga summoner. I am G Sphere.
And I'm Jay.
Congratulations once again sa team ng Crying at team ng Pacific for today's matches. Very entertaining, napakagandang laban. Kita-kits tayo ulit bukas. You're watching the Pro Gaming Series 2014 Summer Promotion and have a happy weekend sa lahat.